Hello Man United fans. Welcome to Manchester United football. Erik ten Hag criticised the performance of Manchester United's frontline in their 1-0 defeat of Wolves. United began their Premier League campaign with a fortuitous victory as Wolves had 23 shots, the most by a visiting side at Old Trafford in the league since Chelsea in November 2005. Ten Hag substituted Mason Mount and Alejandro Garnacho before Raphael Varane's 76th-minute winner, while Antony came off seconds after Varane nodded in from Aaron Wan-Bissaka's cross. Marcus Rashford made way late on after an ineffectual performance up front, while Bruno Fernandes was also careless with the ball. "I think we could have scored 5 or 6 turnovers and there were overloads," Ten Hag said, "but I think the front line was not in the best form today and we could have made more out of it from the overload situations. Last week, we scored some incredible goals. This week, it's the form of the day and we didn't, but it will come. We have to move with the ball and be compact. Once we are compact, we have to be aggressive and fight in the duels. Today, we lost some fights and the counter-attacks you allow. But luckily we were defending the counter-attacks well, and in Andre Onana we had some very good saves." Ten Hag gave an unconvincing and succinct summary of debutant Mount's performance. "He did his job, it was a moderate game, he did well." Manchester United defender Raphael Varane said that Lisandro Martinez suffered a slight injury during the Reds' 1-0 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Reds were unconvincing for large spells against their West Midlands opponents but took the lead 15 minutes from time when Varane powered home a close-range header following Aaron Wan-Bissaka's cross. United rode their luck further in stoppage time when Wolves were denied a clear penalty when Andre Onana clattered into substitute Sasa Kalajic. Ultimately United got what they wanted on the night as they collected all 3 points, but there was some mild confusion after Martinez was substituted at half-time. The Argentinian had been booked after a strong challenge in the first 45 minutes and it was speculated he may have been subbed to avoid picking up another caution. However, Varane told the BBC that an injury led to the 25-year-old being withdrawn. "A little problem on his ankle, tendon," the Frenchman explained. "We'll see, but I don't think it's a big deal. We'll see how he is this week." Martinez was spotted on the bench in the second half, which would suggest any issue he did incur was not serious. With a first victory under their belts, United now switch their attention to Saturday evening when they travel to Tottenham Hotspur. Andre Onana says he was not concerned in the slightest when it appeared he had given away a late penalty in the win over Wolves. "It was a nervy moment, but Onana insists he never lost his cool. To be honest, no," he told MUTV when asked if he was worried he'd given away a penalty. "I don't worry at all, because at the end of the day, I make my own decision. You can make the right choice and sometimes not, and at the end of the day you learn from mistakes. I trust the referees. What they are doing is not easy, especially now with VAR. So I was calm. I knew it was just a contact in there, so I'm calm, and for me, I'm very happy with this victory. It's at least a better start to the season than last year's defeat to Brighton, and United move on to a massive match against Tottenham next week." Onana was delighted with his debut. "It was amazing," he added on playing at Old Trafford. "The fans are great, they are warm, and I'm really happy to be here and delighted with the victory of the team. Important to get the victory, and the clean sheet is what we want, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is the victory. I'm happy with our first victory at home and really important, now we have to look forward. Difficult games are coming and we have to be together because it's not going to be easy. The team showed character, and again we show we are a good club, we have good players, we are used to playing on the biggest platforms, so we show a lot of character because it was not easy. It's very important for us, because we are expected to do great things this season, so it's important for us to win this game, and it's important to fight and try and win every game. We are United, Manchester United, and we want to win every trophy." Bayern Munich defender Benjamin Pavard is pushing to join Manchester United after their opening proposal was rejected over the weekend. The French defender, who has a year left on contract, is valued at £26 million. The club's first offer was rejected, but the player is looking to push through a deal with personal terms not expected to be an issue if a fee can be agreed. Bayern have signaled their intention to keep the 27-year-old, however, with manager Thomas Tuchel starting him in Saturday's German Super Cup defeat to RB Leipzig. United want a replacement lined up for Harry Maguire before he goes to West Ham, yet the club need to sell to buy. Johnny Evans has signed a 1-year deal with the club, but Erik ten Hag is keen to bring in another defender when Maguire leaves. Maguire is on the verge of signing for the Europa Conference League champions with a fee agreed, but United need to raise funds before a deal can be completed. Fred joined Fenerbahce for £12.9 million over the weekend, while Granada have shown interest in young United left-back Alvaro Fernandes, and Erik is talking to Besiktas and Al Nassr. Gary Neville has slammed Manchester United's midfield as non-existent after the Red Devils kick-started their Premier League season with a 1-0 win over Wolves. United limped to their first English top-flight victory of the new season as Old Trafford celebrated taking 3 points in their season-opening clash. Neville was speaking post-match on Sky Sports when he explained Erik Ten Hag's side had failed to impress against a struggling Wolves team. He said, "Manchester United's midfield was non-existent. It was a concern that was maybe sort of, if you watched Man United in preseason, leaving Casemiro on his own when Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes go forwards, it looks great. But you've got to have a balance. And the front three don't really work hard enough in a defensive sense. That would have been a real worry because Wolves have got a new manager only 4 days ago and a lot of misery around how their season may end up, but they've been brilliant tonight." United's new-look midfield, including summer signing Mason Mount, was set up to attack from the off, with home supporters expecting to see an unleashing of attacking prowess against a Wolves side still wounded from losing their manager. But despite creating a few half-chances in the first opening exchanges, Mount, Casemiro and Fernandes struggled to pick holes in the robust visiting defense. Manchester United fans carried out a protest against the prospect of Mason Greenwood's return to the team ahead of their season opener against Wolves. The 21-year-old was arrested in January 2022 and suspended on full pay by United a short time later after charges of alleged rape and assault were made against him. However, the Crown Prosecution Service announced in February of this year that the charges had been dropped after key witnesses withdrew their involvement. United then released a short statement explaining how they would conduct an internal investigation to decide his future, something that has not yet been resolved, with a decision expected shortly on whether or not he will remain at the club. A group of United fans though made their feelings clear outside Old Trafford ahead of Monday's Premier League opener against Wolves. Their protest coincided with a separate demonstration from supporters against the Glazers' ownership of the club. The supporters gathered near the Holy Trinity statue outside the ground, displaying a banner which read, "Female fans demand no Greenwood return, end violence against women." Another fan was seen raising a sign which said, "Don't leave the decision up to the women's team, you spineless motherless F*******. Earlier reports have it that the club had moved a step closer towards bringing Greenwood back into the fold as they sought final approval from the women's team, along with club sponsors and fans groups. It is understood that United have made their decision after the findings of a 6-month internal investigation were handed to Chief Executive Richard Arnold. They will now enter a consultation period including speaking to the women's team, some of whom are at the World Cup, to ratify the move. An announcement was said to be imminent before Monday's game, but it was delayed with the club insisting that the communication of their decision to key stakeholders is more important than any arbitrary deadline. It remains to be seen if Greenwood would then rejoin the United squad once he has regained full fitness or be sent out on loan, possibly abroad, to keep him out of the spotlight as much as possible. Last week, one of the organizers explained the reason for the protest, saying, "It's time for the club to stand up and make the right decision. It's time to say, we have high standards at United about how we expect players to conduct themselves, and if you do not meet those standards, you need to be moved out." This is a tipping point for the club. Are they going to side with commercialism and trophies and money? Or are they going to take the side of match-going fans and the club being a social and community institution that we can be proud of, and proud to have as part of our identity? Their protest was not the only one at Old Trafford on Monday evening, with another group, the 1958, staging fresh anti-Glazer protests over the owner's refusal to sell up. One banner appeared to call for United fans to stage a sit-in for 1 hour after their clash with Nottingham Forest on August 26, their next home game. It read, "Sell the club. 60 minutes sit-in after Forest. We want Glazers out." Another banner also read, "Glazers out. If Greenwood was to remain with his boyhood club." A previous report from The Athletic outlined how a phased reintegration could take place, which would include encouragement from United for the forward to take part in rehabilitation, which would initially include counseling or therapy. This could also include facing a TV interview, and one which The Athletic reports as, in which he is challenged on the events that have taken him to this point. The ultimate decision on his future will come from the very top, with Chief Executive Arnold expected to have the responsibility based on the club's internal investigation and report. Greenwood's future remains a contentious topic on all sides, with there believed to be a difference in opinion on what should be done between the football and commercial departments at United, while he has already been dropped by Nike as a sponsored athlete. Fans, what do you make of the team's performance against Wolves? Leave your comments below in the comment section on any of the topics discussed. If you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel. Till the next updates. Thank you for watching.